All right, Leonidas here. Welcome back. So as always, we're going to cover what is the target impression share strategy. I'm going to give you my personal pros and cons of this strategy. Then we're going to go ahead and cover a theoretical strategy that I've tested extensively, as well as try to get more information directly from Google themselves. And then finally, we're going to cover how to create the campaigns, as well as particular columns that you need to implement with your Google Ads. Then I'm also going to show you accounts data, and then we're going to use some AI analysis on that data, and then finally a review. So what is the impression share strategy? Theoretically, you're bidding on putting your ads in a particular position within the listings. So we're trying to go for either the number one position as much as we can, or anything between number 1 and 3. Or if we don't really care, we just want our ads to be shown as much as possible, just in general, then we're bidding anything below that. So it could be position number 4, 5, or 6. And in my personal experience, this strategy is almost the same as the max clicks bid strategy. I haven't noticed too many particular differences between the two. This strategy is more if you simply want impression share. So you're a big company, you're less likely to be a small or medium-sized company. You're more likely to be a very large company with millions of dollars of brand advertising. Your main job is to get your brand shown as much as possible through the Google search algorithm, through the Google searches themselves. So you simply want eyeballs seeing your ad and your name as much as possible without necessarily focusing on conversions. So this is why I say it's very similar to the max clicks bid strategy, because you're basically bidding on all search terms that might come through. Now, the pros of this strategy is that you're theoretically bidding on position 1 as much as possible, or you're also theoretically trying to get on position 2 and 3, or once again below the fold, which is anything at the very bottom of the page. The limitations of this strategy is that you can't specifically bid for position 2 and 3, because sometimes you want to avoid position 1 because of habitual clicking of people who click on the very first thing they see, and this just burns through your ad spend. Someone like myself who focuses on conversions, I don't want those types of clicks unless they are clicks ready to convert, rather than just clicks of people who just click the very first thing they see and end up wasting your ad budget. And the other thing is that the position 1 is the most costly. So I don't want to be paying full price for position 1 when I'd be totally happy with paying for position 2, which could be either 60%, 50%, or even 40% of the cost of position 1. Now, the reason you all want to avoid position 1 sometimes is that sometimes your ad will show on branded search terms, and they're simply looking for branded customer service calls. So like I said, this strategy is very similar to maximize clicks. In maximize clicks, Google is simply showing your ads to pretty much everything related to your keyword. If you're targeting pest control, your ad is going to show for Terminix, for Orkin, for Western Exterminating. So for anything that's related to pest control, your ad is showing. And then sometimes these are going to get customer service clicks, which are completely useless because Google's putting you in position number 1. So like I said, once again, it's not conversion driven, this particular strategy. Now, if we go back here, we can see we can bid on 3 different positions. We can bid on the absolute top of results, the absolute number 1 position, or we can get the top results, either the top result, position 2, or the position 3, or anywhere on the results page. We just want our brand being seen. But let's say, for example, we are trying, theoretically speaking, to get position 2 or position 3. So what I tested was I put the absolute top bid as 0.001. So theoretically, what I'm saying is that I want my ads showing in the absolute top position 0.001% of the time. I just want position 2 or position 3 or position 4, whatever it is, but I never want position 1. This strategy required further testing. Unfortunately, what happened was I was still getting position 1 some of the time, and position 1 some of the time was, once again, for people clicking on the very first thing they saw, or branded clicks, or some completely nonsense, non-converting clicks that basically went nowhere. And over time, the Google algorithm completely stopped showing my ads altogether because it's getting confused on what exactly I was trying to do with the system. So I inquired with Google Ads on how to never get position 1, but unfortunately they don't have that incorporated into their system because their algorithm is all over the place as well. So theoretically, you can maybe test this and test this over time, over the next several months, maybe several years. Maybe they'll tweak it, maybe they'll adjust it. It's just strategy you can always keep in mind. But for the time being, this is just a theoretical strategy that requires more testing, maybe even longer testing. Maybe I just didn't test it long enough. So keep that strategy in mind. So let's go back into our campaigns. I'm going to show you how to adjust your bidding strategy to impression share. And then I'm going to show you how to implement the impression share data columns very quickly. And then obviously I'm going to show you account data with AI analysis as well to find correlations between getting the absolute top, the top or not versus conversion rates. So let's go ahead and begin. So here we are back in our campaigns, and we're gonna select all of these, and we're gonna do edit, change bid strategy, and we're gonna select target impression share, and then absolute top of results. And